Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? I know you're going to hate me for this because I'm good with the hospital coming downtown.
I understand.
You already hate me, Brett, over it.
No, I don't hate any. I don't hate anyone.
Brett's not a hater.
I'm not a hater.
Am I correct in that I have seen picketers down on Columbia Street? People carrying picketing signs.
We have a schedule of. We have a schedule of picketing at the 3 hospitals and then also downtown where they want to place the hospital. And last night we were at Herkimer County Community College.
And so Herkimer County Community College, and the reasoning down there is because...
well, most people don't know it, but the government is full steam ahead to put a hospital downtown. I might feel differently if it was a hospital wanting to put a hospital downtown, but it's the government.
Right.
Last night, the Mohawk Valley Regional Economic Development Council had their annual meeting, and they're the ones that put together the MV 500 plan. And in that plan, they called downtown Utica by Columbia and Lafayette Street functionally obsolete neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the OD says the few businesses that will be affected will be moved. There's actually 41, or there were 41.
Yeah.
There's now 40, and maybe we're losing one more. So
it's disgusting in parts, though. I don't mean to say it that way, but and if you feel, and Lynn, you're going to hate me for this, but if you feel, you don't hate me though, do you?
Not at all.
Okay. If you feel that private money is actually going to come in and transform that whole area down there, I like one giant swoop, transform it. And then it allows progress on Bleecker Street, on Genesee Street, and on the areas around to be able to develop.
Well,
I got an earful, by the way, from a friend of yours and mine last night as I was sitting at a restaurant about this, saying, "I can't believe you're on that side," but I am. So.
Yeah. Well, I guess it would be a lot clearer to see what side we should be on if there was a clear plan.
Right.
But basically, there's a concept to buy up 34 acres of land and put a hospital.
Yeah.
But the hospital already owns 64 acres at St. Luke's. They've been buying land for 20 years. They bought land from the House of Good Shepherd. They've talked to a church. I don't know if they've bought the church or going to buy the church, but they 64 acres.
Yeah.
And if you go to any city and look at hospitals, they grow. Look at our city, St. Luke's. Or St. Elizabeth's. They keep growing and eating into the neighborhood.
Have you been in St. E's?
I have, and
I
heard there's a crack
needs
in
a lot
the
of
foundation.
Work. Yeah, needs a lot of work.
But hospitals don't save people.
Right.
Buildings don't save people. It's
I
doctors and
that.
nurses.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, we're going to build a new hospital and it's going to attract new doctors. The hospitals have very bad grades, and I think it's the management. And it's maybe a function of the economy that we have around here. And building a shiny new building doesn't guarantee that.
Well, and I want to say this, though, in fairness, and Lynn, I'm going to let you come in because she's chomping at the bit over there. What makes you an expert on hospitals? Because I
would say what makes politicians an expert on hospitals.
But it's the hospital saying they're going downtown now
because the strings attached.
But you're surmising there.
No, I've been in the common council meetings.
Right.
Unfortunately, I've transformed myself from a business operator and an inventor to an activist, and I've spent a year and a half. I think it was 8-10 months ago. I came in here. Our year. I've maintained a website. I've been on Facebook. I've gone to meetings. I've talked to the politicians. I sat in a common council meeting where Scott Para said, well, we don't know, but we'd love to answer that. And then I received the DVD of that meeting, and it was edited. Scott Para is up at the podium talking, and then the camera pans. This is a tape that was played for the public. Para is sitting in the audience. How does that happen? Are we editing
just
tapes?
For the record, you do believe, though, that we walked on the moon?
Oh.
I'm just saying,
I don't know.
conspiracy theories.
We can debate that too.
Lynne Mishalanie, do you think they edited that though to change the content?
I will share it with you. I will share it with you afterwards.
And I am a videographer, so I'm an editor, is what I am. So
I'll leave it to you.
I would very well be able to at least get an idea of what I think was going on there.
Sure.
Lynne Mishalanie, good morning.
Hi. Of course, my interest in downtown Utica goes back many years, as you know, Bill. And about 20 years ago, on the third year of Utica Monday Night, we put on our brochure the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
We made a map, we colorized them, and we began to try to encourage the population to understand that we have very many, very individualized neighborhoods.
Right.
And I think that this is so out of scale. My vision for Utica is that it be the old city with the charm of the buildings that are there, all of our beautiful architecture. Everything that's happened so far is repurposing and reuse. And, people get excited about this new building. I'm not anti-hospital.
Right.
I just don't want it plopped down in downtown between residential areas that now people are paying $2,200 a month at Broderick for their loft and what's going on over at Ocean Blue. How about somebody coming up with a creative idea about putting more different kinds of housing there so that we have a contiguous walk from the Hotel Utica and the core of our city over to the entertainment district of Varick and to the high-end housing area in Bank Square?
I will say that that actually tearing things down can be a benefit. I mean, we know what urban renewal did. It destroyed cities. But that garage coming down at Hotel Utica has opened up a whole view that is incredible from Oriskany Street. Looking
Pricey.
At it, what's that?
Pricey peek at the blocks around.
I guess it is, yeah. But it's an awesome visual there now that you couldn't see before. You couldn't see Hotel Utica before.
Well,
now from Oriskany Street,
I'm
it
really
looks
not into, the kind of parking that we've got, which is very, very surfacey, more tarmac. And
well, they say that parking, that type of parking shows a lack of progress in cities. I've heard an economic expert talk about that, saying that if you don't have garages, that tends to mean that the city's not progressing.
And having lived in the grant world for 20 years, there is such a lag time on promised money going on. Right now, you hear about it all the time. We're in our third year of waiting for dollars with a new leadership and the world economy looking. I think I'd personally slow things down a little bit, let the incremental growth that we've experienced with wonderful entrepreneurial experiences, and let the people. I probably 1 in 10 people think that it's a good idea that I talk to, and I talk a lot.
It'd be interesting.
A lot of people that can't talk.
It would be interesting to see what the actual numbers are. If poll was done, what the actual numbers are. Funding for this hospital is required. The requirement is that it goes downtown, and that's what you're talking about. The strings attached.
Well, actually, I don't think we've had a lawyer interpret the language in the legislation, but the language in the legislation or the writing says that this new Oneida County
You haven't put Jim Brock
healthcare
on this? Jim Brock couldn't decipher through this?
Well, yeah, I guess we could ask him, but I don't think he's a practicing attorney. So, I mean, until you go into court, it's not going to be decided.
All right.
But one thing to be clear,
I'm going to break.
Anthony Brindisi
I'm going to break, and you can take your swipe. I have to break. We'll come back. We'll come right back here on the topic at WIBX.